Hello and welcome back to Total Drama Multiverse Reloaded. So this is our episode 20. I mean 20th episode, whatever. That's crazy. But yeah, let's just get into it with our pre-challenge section. Alright, so in our pre-challenge section, I definitely just began to be using these more so as just an updating on where everyone's at instead of what's actually physically going on, because there really isn't that much, especially in these later episodes where there's only 8 people, right? So we still have Sky, who's starting to calm down because she feels like she's safe with Daisy, Ash, Tootie, and Mel. We'll see how safe she really is, though. Meanwhile, Daisy has felt incredibly safe in the game, but not outside the game. Daisy's been having frequent panic attacks thinking about what happened with Malik and how Malik in 15 years is going to come for her soul. So, yeah, she's been struggling with some inner and literal outer demons. So, and then Ash and Tootie are just Ash and Tootie. And Mel is kind of just grumpy and annoyed with Alice. Well, Alice isn't here, but annoyed with that whole situation with Alice. Meanwhile, excuse me, or bless me, whatever. Meanwhile, we have our golden trio, but that's what I've been calling them. However, in universe, I actually think it would be really neat if Tristan started calling this the Vibe Tribe, because, you know, in season 4 of Dispenser Camp, that's literally the most wrong I could have been. Tristan calls the trio of Tristan, Zayd, and Ivy the Vibe Tribe. So yeah, I think it'd be kind of neat. So Ezekiel and Patrice also are like they are like really close to becoming partners. They're still like flirting with each other. I think it's come to the point where Patrice probably knows Ezekiel has a crush on her, but I think Ezekiel's still worried that Patrice doesn't, and Patrice is just being nice. So yeah, I think that's how that dynamic's going. But anyways, let's get to our challenge section. This challenge is a really cool one. I really like how I came up with this because it's actually 2 challenge suggestions mixed into one. So let me bring up the mix thing here. Okay, so we had Kai and Twinber both suggest challenges yesterday. Or not yesterday, 2 days ago. And I'm going to read them both real quick. This is what they commented. Kai said, just a simple game of dodgeball, but instead of the balls, they're random foods. It's basically normal rules of dodgeball, so if you get hit, you're out, and if someone catches a food, then the person that got hit, or the person that got out first gets back in. You can also add any other twists or rules you want to make it better. That's the thing that line is the thing that gave me the idea to combine it with Twinver's challenge. A simple eating contest, 8 rounds, last one standing. The remaining 8 contestants must eat simple foods or drinks which double in proportion each round. Everyone starts out with the same meal in the first round, and whoever finishes first gets a better looking delicacy in the next round, while the others remain the same. Anyone who throws up, the first one too, at the very least gets eliminated. Immunity goes to the solo winner, obviously, and as a bonus, anyone who won a particular round. So like, in his challenge suggestion, if you did the best in one of those rounds, you'd also win immunity. So I'm not taking everything from both these. Like, I'm not taking that, and I'm not taking the first, or a person getting back in, just because that wouldn't really work since there's no teams right now. So instead, I combined them both and added a few twists of my own, and we came up with Food Fight Battle Royale. This is Challenge 41, partially suggested by Kai the Brave and Twinber Wolves. 4231. So, in this version, the thing that we'll actually be doing today, Lauren has said that there will be 8 rounds, each with progressively grosser foods. Every contestant must stay within the lunchroom while throwing the foods at each other, or at the other contestants. Once at least one person has either been hit 3 times or has thrown up, they will be eliminated, and we will move on to the next challenge, or I guess the next round, rather. If a player catches the food, it will count as a hit towards the thrower. And like I said, if you get hit 3 times, you're gone. So if 3 people catch it, you're gone. The game ends with a 1v1 using all the food from the past 7 rounds. The last player standing is the sole winner of immunity. So yeah, I really like how I combine these two while also making it fit better as a actual merged challenge. Yeah, let's get into it. I think we need to talk about the people who are going to have strengths here. First of all, because their area is the lunchroom, Chef's huge lunchroom, not like the crappy one from the show, but like it's like an actual really nice restaurant now, because they have access to all kinds of realities and stuff. That's the whole perimeter, which means that Sky is allowed to teleport and rift around, just only in that perimeter. Meanwhile, I think the people that don't already have kind of disadvantages here are Ash and 2D, because they'll probably throw themselves in front of Daisy, as well as especially 2D, because 2D's age is starting to catch up to him. He's starting to not be able to keep up with the other 7 contestants here, who are all like 13 to 25. And then I think the other person who at least would be worried at the start is probably Tristan. I think Tris obviously is the worst physical contestant left in the game, is the weakest, the wimpiest, the scaredest, all the ists, except racist. No, I don't know why I said that. Anyways, sorry, my mind's going like a million miles an hour right now. A bunch of stuff's going on today, so that's why I'm not even working on this yet. And it's 11, or I just started working on this, and it's 11:43. Normally, I would have it like exporting right now. Anyways, y'all don't care about that. What y'all do care about is the other contestants that I think do have a bit of a higher chance of winning this kind of challenge, which are Daisy, Mel, Patrice, and Ezekiel, because obviously, Patrice and Ezekiel have a lot of chemistry working together and are both good with this kind of thing, except Ezekiel does kind of have terrible aim. He has his bow, but he's not really good with it. He's been practicing more, though. I think he's embarrassed because Patrice tried it once and probably is better than him at it. Mel is another one who, she just seems like someone who's good with all kinds of weapons. If you've seen the pilot of the Gaslight District, y'all would know she's kind of insane. And as for Daisy, she just has so many body blocks and so much. I mean, she's already really good at tennis, right? So she's got some stuff here. So let's just start with round 1. And round 1 would probably just simply be, I don't know, like mac and cheese. And you get to throw the bowl too. So mac and cheese, ooh, I'm hungry now, is given to each of the 8 contestants. And they're allowed to team up for like temporarily, but only one person can win. So I think that the only teams that happen is Daisy gets Ash and 2D to become her body blocks, and also Sky to not become her body block but to stick with her. So that's a group of 4. They try to move as a unit, and then the Vibe Tribe stays together, which leaves Mel kind of on her own, which pisses her off that she wasn't invited to the group of 4, right? Because she thought she was getting in good with these guys. And gals, so she uses her mac and cheese and she throws it directly at Daisy out of anger because she's already super pissed off. But Daisy sees it, or Ash sees it rather, and jumps in front of her and is like, no, and it's in his stomach, and then he falls in her arms and he's like, I'm sorry, because remember, Ash has a small crush on Daisy. And Daisy just drops him and is like, ew. So Ash is eliminated round 1. Then round 2 comes around. And I think this one was a little bit grosser. Spoiled cereal. Okay, that's gross. Yeah. Like, spoiled cereal. Like the stuff that you'd see in like those school lunch videos where it's like, goo. Okay, now I've lost my appetite. Each of the 7 remaining contestants here are given that. And I think that this is where Daisy starts going out for revenge, along with, she gives it to Sky, actually, because Sky is way better than her at this, because she has, like, the teleporting and stuff. So Sky starts teleporting all around Mel, and she ends up throwing her spoiled milk, and it doesn't hit Sky, obviously, but it accidentally does hit Ezekiel in the back of the head. So yeah, Ezekiel is eliminated from here just as Sky was about to get Mel, which Sky still gets Mel, by the way, which pisses Mel off because even more because Mel was already like they had already finished the round and now she's covered in this disgusting crap anyways. So after she washes herself off in the bathroom with the sink water, they move on to round 3. And this round, what's even grosser than that? But I mean, like, there's some gross stuff. But I'm trying to think what's still at least somewhat edible. We can do, we can do, we can do, we can do. You know what? We can do fast food commercial food, which it doesn't sound bad until you realize that it's all like glued together and plastic and has like makeup on it. It's gross. So that's what we're gonna do, like a fast food commercial Whopper or something. So each of the 6 remaining are together here, and I think this is where Tristan's just been scared the whole time, hiding behind the table. So Patrice takes it upon herself to go save Mel from getting hit by Sky because Sky was still going after her. And says, "Hey, temporary alliance," and she's like, "Okay, temporary alliance." And Sky is like, "It doesn't matter." But this is where Sky starts walking up, and she's not evil, right? She's supposed to be like super nice, but she's taking the game way too seriously because she's super competitive, and she sees these people as her enemies now because she trusts Daisy way more than she should, and way more than she knows she should. But out of nowhere, just as she's taunting Mel and Patrice, and she's about to throw the makeup burger, or the fast food, whatever you want to call it, Tristan actually jumps up from behind the table, screams, and throws the makeup burger straight into the back of Sky while she's distracted, so she doesn't teleport away in time, which actually gets Sky out. And this gives Tristan a really big confidence boost. So we come to our final 5 of the challenge, and what should we do for this one? I think this is where it starts getting ridiculous. I think spider eyes. Oh my gosh, I would actually freak out. I fear spiders in real life. I fear spiders more than I fear death. Okay, I don't actually fear death. That's a bad example. But I'm so arachnophobic. I'm getting like goosebumps just thinking about it right now. Here, let me take off my blanket. Anyways, yeah, so they have spider's eyes. Oh, and by the way, I just realized, you know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been doing 3 hits. We're gonna just retcon that right now. I just looked over at my rules again. I've been saying either be hit 3 times or not, or throw up. Well, you know what? We're just going to change it because I completely forgot about that. So now it's just if you get hit or if somebody else catches it or if you throw up. So, yeah, we're changing that right now because I completely forgot about that, and this is better for the game anyway. We'll use the 3 hits for the final round, I think. That works better. So you get 3 lives on the final round unless you throw up. Yeah, okay. So we move on, and what should we do next? Yeah, I already said spider's eyes. So spider's eyes. I think that in this round, everyone's starting to, or Daisy and 2D are starting to get a little nervous. And I think what happens here is it probably would go, how do I think it would go? I think it would go 2D would try to save Daisy because these 3, with Tristan's confidence boost, Patrice's survival skills, and Mel's anger, these 3 are on the hunt for these 2. So 2D would try to save Daisy by pushing her out of the way, but it wouldn't even work because he wouldn't be able to push her hard enough, and she would still get spider's eyes. While she turns to yell at him, a spider eye goes down her throat, which she smacks the shit out of him for, but he just takes it. He's used to Murdoch. And then she throws up, which means she's definitely out. She's out twice. So we come down to our final 4, where 2D is so cooked. There's nothing 2D can really do here. He kind of just tries to run around, and then he pops a hip, and then he falls over, and Tristan goes to see if he's okay, but before Trish can even ask Malika and Patrice come up with, well, I didn't even say what food do I think they have. I think they have cow crap and just smother them in it. So, yeah, sorry for 2D there. But then we get to our final 3 for the challenge. And how do I think this is going to go? I think that Patrice and Tristan are like, hey, we have an alliance. To Mel, they're like, hey, we have an alliance, but we still are buddies, so we're going to try to get you out. And Mel's like, that's fair. Also, Patrice, you're out. And Patrice is like, what do you mean? And Mel's like, look, I just hit you with food. And she looks down, and as she does, Mel throws freaking, I don't even know. I keep forgetting to actually say what they have. They have a slushie made out of all the vomit collected from Total Drama Island Brunch of Disgustingness. Which means it's like 20 years old. Don't ask why they have that. Yeah, that's what we're doing now. So it hits Patrice as she's distracted, and she throws up seeing this, and we come down to our final 2 with Mel and Tristan. By the way, Patrice doesn't really get mad at that because, I mean, game is game. So now we have all the food around the cafeteria, and they're allowed to use any of it. If they get hit 3 times, that's going to mean that they're out. Or if someone catches it, also counts as a hit. If they throw up, though, then that's an automatic out. So here's what I think would be the problem with this. There's a few things that I think would limit Tristan from using. I don't think Tristan would ever be able to touch the cow crap or be able to touch the throw up, because I think it'd just be too much for Tris. I think Mel would probably bathe in cow crap if she had the chance. She's not very hygienic, that's for sure. Her whole planet isn't. But I think that might limit Tristan quite a bit. But I mean, there are stuff like the spider's eyes, which Tristan would probably find cool. That strikes me as the type to probably have a collection of spiders, or a pet spider. Anyways, I think that Tristan would still have the confidence boost and really be trying, and actually give Mel a run for her money. Mel would genuinely be surprised at how well Tristan is doing. But at the end of the day, guys, there's no way this is happening. I think Tristan maybe catches one. Like maybe Mel hits Tristan, Tristan hits Mel, Tristan catches one. So it's 2-2. And I think that it comes down to Tristan, who is like just going up against a wall, and Mel has some cow crap in her hand, and Tristan's like, no, please. And Mel's like, war never changed. I don't even know. Again, some badass quote. I'm too dumb to think of one. But then just smacks it onto Tristan's chest, causing Tristan to throw up. I don't know what she'd say, like, the brutality of war or something. I don't know. I'm sorry, but it's the brutality of war. Giving Mel the immunity. So let's bring everyone back up, and yeah, we'll get to our post-challenge section. That was a bit shorter. Oh, no, it wasn't. We're already 18 minutes in. I always am like, guys, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, and then it's 30 minutes long. All the episodes this season, almost every episode this season has been 30 minutes to 33 minutes. They've been a lot more well thought out than last season, I think. But we get to our post-challenge section, and I think that there's a few things going on here. I think the first thing I want to clarify is that Mel, Patrice, Ezekiel, and Tristan are still good. They're fine. Mainly because, obviously, Mel destroyed Tristan and Patrice in those final things, including throwing crap at Tristan, but I think they recognize it was for the immunity, and also it looked kind of cool. So, they're good. And meanwhile, Mel is really done with the other 4. Because she's kind of done with everybody right now, but these are the only 3 that are being nice to her. So she's done with these 4. Also, Sky's likability has just plummeted. The only person who she feels really likes her left on the island is Daisy. Which Daisy has spent a lot of the time scolding Ash and Tootie, which is really not rightful, but Ash is, but they don't really care. Ash is fine. 2D is really self-conscious, though, about the age and is really starting to get worried about it. But we'll see how that goes in the elimination ceremony. So I think that Mel comes up to the Vibe Tribe and is like, guys, I'm on your side. I'm voting with you. But I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a tie tonight. And they're like, okay. So they have to choose who do they think they can beat in a tie. And it might seem a little obvious, but who was the one who was stumbling around, popped their hip, what is really dumb, is too old for the game. They gotta go 2D. Meanwhile, the other four want to go for Mel since she's the traitor, but I think instead they would try to weaken the freaking couple, as well as them being a lot stronger than Tristan, even though Tristan did have the confidence boost. So I think they'd probably go for Patrice for being a little more competent. So then we get to a tiebreaker between Patrice and 2D, and I don't even think I need to make up a tiebreaker, because guys, Patrice is a survivalist who has survived the zombie apocalypse on steroids. The Plants vs. Zombie apocalypse is more dangerous than almost every zombie apocalypse y'all know. And that's not a joke. Like, unironically, it's actually ridiculous. There are videos about it, not me, but like there are videos about the fact that like Zomboss is genuinely like way more dangerous than like Walking Dead, Last of Us, any of that crap. Not to say those are bad shows, but you know what I mean. I actually haven't watched either of them, but I know about them. Meanwhile, 2D is a 40-year-old singer who's actually let me search up 2D's age, because I've been saying 40, but I think he's actually a little older age. 46. Yeah, okay. He was born in 1978. Yeah, so he's cooked. All that to say, 2D's cooked. And Daisy has officially lost another one of her meat shields. 2D, we'll keep talking about 2D, though, because 2D goes to the other side of the island, because obviously he can't be rifted back yet, because there's no way to get off the island right now, because there's no rift guns on the island. So 2D stays, or goes over there, but that area is out of the area of Daisy's, or well, I guess Malik's spell. So 2D walks out, and the second, like, all mopey about, whoa. Yeah, good thing y'all can't see what just happened. Whoops. Well, he walks out, all sad about losing so badly to a 13-year-old girl. But the second he walks out of that area, he's like, holy shit. And now he has a new goal. And that new goal is to help his buddy Ash. So that's going to do it for this episode of Total Drama Multiverse Reloaded. Let me just pick that up. I did not mean to hit that off. Yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I really liked this one because it gave more character to some characters that have a little bit of a smaller role right now, right? Because y'all know Sky, Daisy, Patrice and Ezekiel, and even Tristan. But I feel like the three that were getting the least on the people that are out of the people that were left were Ash, 2D, and Mel. And I gave a lot of the focus this episode to 2D and Mel. And as y'all just heard, 2D and Ash aren't done just yet. But yeah, I really like this one. Thank you to both Kai and Twinber for their challenge suggestions. So make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your own challenge suggestion if you want to, as well as comment. I still want to know, one boy, one girl, and/or one Tristan. Who are you rooting for in this? In the rest of this, as we come to, honestly, near the end of the season. We only have 7 people left. But yeah, please do that, and I cannot wait to catch y'all in the next one. See ya! Normally, by this point in the story of Amphibia, Anne and Marcy haven't even met up, much less do they know how the hell to recharge the stones. But between Tails' big brain and Peely knowing all of the stuff about these realities, as well as Hope and Jones being there, as well as Monica and Izuku and Chris and Chef just there as well, they're able to figure it out pretty quickly. So what they need to do is they need to recharge 3 stones at 3 different areas, temples rather, where once they have that, they will not only have the ability to go home from Amphibia, which they kind of already do because of the Rift Gun, but that's not the point right now. That is the point in the show. But they will also have the ability to use the Calamity powers. Now, I should say that technically they do have some of the abilities right now, but or at least Anne does, but she can't really use them yet until either like super high emotion. But that won't really happen until after they've recharged at least the first few stones. So yeah, right now they are making their way to go to the very first temple. Okay, so I didn't really know where else to put this in the show, but I did want to put it somewhere just for clarification. As you'll know, last time we saw Lena, she was in the Multiversal Doctor, and she is better by now, but she won't be returning to the game just because, I mean, there's only 7 people left, and that just would kind of give a really unfair advantage to the Vibe Tribe, who, with their honorary member of Mel now, already have a majority, so I'm not going to be adding Lena back. But as she is, because at the Multiversal Doctor they do have not Rift guns, but they have other ways of traveling the multiverse, because they're the Multiversal Doctors. They were able to get Lena home, but on the way home, they were also trapped in the signal jammer. But thankfully, while they were almost died because of the war going on, thankfully Tails shut down the thing for a second, which allowed them to also go back and drop off Lena at her reality, and then the doctors went back, which the doctors are just random doctors. They're not anyone from any specific franchise. So I just wanted to update that Lena is good, she's Magika free, and she's back in the DuckTales reality.